to list for each one of us. I will start with one that I gave on professionalism. That one is between professionalism and integrity. I don't know which one it is, but it is one that involves the submission of bids. In Nordken, we do bidding for projects. So at times when you do bidding for projects, there are times that you go and submit your bid and you meet with the client. And as you submit the bid, they ask you on the side, how badly do you want this job? And you tell them, we really need this job. So they'll ask you, so what are you willing to do to get the job? And you know exactly what they mean, but you're just obliged to tell them that you have put forward a proposal that you think will win. But in actual sense, they're trying to tell you that you see them on the side so that they can organize on how you can get the job. So eventually, if you stick to the point of you think you have put forward a winning proposal, you find that that proposal, as much as you think you did your best, you will find that someone that in your own thinking is not a competition that should have beaten you, but somehow they just beat you. So that's something that I put in as professionalism or maybe integrity. Then there was one that was given by Leah on honesty. There's a time that she was given by a client $100 extra. When the person was counting, I think they count extra $100 extra and gave her, and the person did not realize. So Leah was torn between assuming that this person will not know and being honest and returning the $100. So she chose against the odds because she was broke at that time. She decided to just give back the $100. So the other one also from Leah was professionalism, where in her line of work, she's dealing with suppliers. There are suppliers who will call her and request that she does them favors in maybe getting a job or supplies in return for a tip. But because she chooses to be professional, she tells them to just follow the right procedure of competitive, giving quotes and choosing competitively. So in that way, she loses the tip, but she acts on her professionalism. We also got three from Humphrey. Humphrey, who is currently working in Somalia, his first one was integrity, whereby in his line of work, he's dealing with verification of work that has been done on site. So it is common to find contractors who will want them to verify more work than they have done, and in return, they will give you something. So for him, he chooses to verify the correct figures, not inflated figures. In case there's an inflated figure, he returns them to the contractor to do the correct one. The other one on professionalism is whereby some contractors or some people on site, they chat you on the side to tell you that in case you are giving a communication that you think will put them in trouble, you don't copy the seniors. So they want you to just email them directly. But on the other hand, that could put you in trouble, because if that thing pursues, you will be asked, did you communicate? Now you cannot tell your boss that you communicated and you didn't see the communication. So he chose against the request from the contractor to just be included everyone who is supposed to be included in the email, however bad they are. The other one was honesty, where contractors sometimes do mistakes in arithmetic. It is not always inflating. Sometimes the contractor will calculate things, and because they are using Excel, they do a calculation which gives a result which is lower than the value they should give. So instead of just ignoring, he chooses to correct it for the contractor and tell the contractor to resubmit with the correct figures. So for our team, that is all that we have for question 1. Then question 2, we were asking ourselves, how do you cure this problem of the heart? Because most often than not, it is not that you don't know what is right. Like our facilitator described, it is a problem of the heart. You know what is right, but sometimes you find yourself or you choose to do what is wrong. So as we were discussing, we were asking ourselves, if you find yourself in a position where doing the correct thing will cost you, but doing the wrong thing will save you, which one will you choose? And what will inform your choice? So it is a tough decision, but I think the best thing is to do the right thing. And how, as a company, I think that one can be enforced is to keep preaching the good values or keep reminding people of the benefit of the good values. And also maybe you use a reward system. When someone sticks or does good, you reward them or tell them they've done well. Okay, we didn't quite get the right answer, but we think that's the correct answer. Thank you. That's all we have.
How do we clap for this group? That's fantastic. Well done. Whatever name we give that group. That's a fantastic presentation. Anyway, I can clap even if the others, you may not hear the clap from the others.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, that's fantastic. I'm very impressed with the amount of work in such a short time. Paul, which group were you in? Macharia.
Yes, yes.
Who is your reporter?
I was in a group with Farah, yourself, I believe, and Robert, and Steven. And we had a discussion on the first question, and we came up with a. Can you hear me?
Very well.
We came up with a few core values, 5 core values that we tried to reason them out. And one of it is safety as a value, whereby we value our safety when we are working and also in life. And we realize that on some of the projects that we undertake, like Robert is in Somalia, many times he faces safety scares when in the course of doing his work. And that means his safety is usually challenged on site. And how he has always survived or managed to face that challenge is through perseverance. Because at the end of the day, somebody has to do it. And that means he encourages himself and ensure that he is able to be in a safe environment in the course of his work and persevere more for the time he is there before taking a break. And secondly, we also came up with another core value, which is quality, especially in the work environment. And again, to the same project in Somalia, whereby sometimes based on availability of the material, the input materials on site, many times that is a challenge based on the standards in that country. And how that challenge has been faced many times is to be firm and ensure that quality is met and ensuring that the materials delivered on site are of the right quality. And another value that we thought of was integrity. And this is usually tested, especially when we are in the project execution phase of the project, whereby many of the people we work with, especially the contractors, will always try to test your integrity by trying to do shoddy work here and there and thinking that you may approve that work. And how that has been experienced. And the first is through ensuring that you are a person of integrity and ensuring that the standards are always adhered to. and not to compromise, and ensuring that the project is delivered according to the quality that is desired. We also had another issue of commitment as a core value, and that is commitment to responsibility at work, whereby we are working throughout Monday to Monday. And there is also that family aspect that comes in, and how do you balance that and still be committed to delivering your work. And we agree that here to face these challenges, to ensuring that you have a priority. Your priority needs to be well defined and balanced. That balance of work and home life needs to come into good standing. So we are able to face that through prioritizing the work well, ensuring that you're able to manage your time to meet both needs. And lastly, I feel the core value was accountability, whereby many times people may not want to be accountable for what they do and the decisions they take. And that is usually a key problem when we are doing our projects. And how we have been able to face that challenge of accountability is to ensure that there is proper documentation when we are doing our projects, to ensure that there is a sense of ownership. It is very clear that this was an accountable person, and you take ownership of the decision that you take. So those are our core values. And what is the cure? The human heart problem. This was a question that we really wanted to get the answers to, and we thought that perhaps proper communication and proper leadership, and what we call servant leadership, can be a big issue towards curing that some of these human problems that test our core values. So we could not agree much on the second question, but this is what we thought could be the answer to that: proper communication, where we are communicating in a way that we allow each other to air their opinion and discuss the same, and proper leadership, whereby you carry water and food for the team. Thank you.
Good. I need to clap for you. I think you are very good thinkers, all of you. Now, can we have the final group? Who is the reporter for the final group? Take over.
Yes, this is Lois. I was with Alex, Engineer Wahome, and Elias. So we had some of the values that have been discussed. We also discussed, and not to dwell on them, we had what was different was due diligence, and also to add on what it was said on integrity, is Alex faced challenges on integrity where some contractors wanted to compromise on the quality of work in a Kisumu project. They approached him with money, but he turned it down because he knew they wanted to compromise the quality of their work. So at the end, when he turned it down, they did not like him so much. Then on due diligence, I gave an example whereby we had one of potential clients who kept asking for quotes for different services, and they never always gave us a job. So we realized this, and when we did our due diligence, we found that they had given the job to someone else. Every time they asked for quotes, they used it to match the person they wanted to give the job. So we stopped giving them and spending so much time on them. So the other one was on professionalism, where Engineer Wahome gave an example that when timelines are very tight, as engineers, they are tempted to do a copy pasting from previous designs. But now to conquer this, they have to be honest with the client, and if it needs more time, they ask for more time so that they can maintain their professionalism. And then there was also honesty. Alex gave an example where there are sometimes there are tight timelines vis-a-vis the project schedule, and sometimes there are unforeseen challenges that can cause delays. So what his approach is he usually tells the client in advance that the time they had agreed will not be possible. So that is how he managed to finish without serious complaints from the client on the side of time. That he was very honest with them and told them, look, this is not going to work, and they added him more time. And on teamwork, I gave an example that sometimes when you have the client is on your neck, you can be tempted to do the job yourself alone without involving the team. So like for us on environmental impact assessments, we work on reports, and the procedure should be when we finish the report, you hand it over to your colleague to look it over. That now is the correct teamwork. But sometimes when the timelines are tight, you are tempted to do the report on your own and submit, and then only to be found with many mistakes. So the way to correct it is to accept to work with the team so that you minimize the mistakes. Yeah, and then on the question of what is the cure for the human heart, we did not have much time to discuss this, but when we started, we had started to say open communication channels are good so that you discuss what the issues are, and then you're able to solve them. That's what happened before we lost time.
Asante sana. You deserve a break, all of you. This is a very well done job. My job will be very easy because I'll just keep repeating. Talking about character, I'll be repeating what you have said. Well done. Let's go for break. How many minutes do you need? You don't have to turn off, unless, of course, you are paying for data bundles. You don't have to turn off the machine, but I really insist you must walk away from the machine. Walk away, even if you have no tea to take. Just walk around your office. It is biologically necessary that you have a physical break. How many minutes do you need?
They're supposed to be resuming at 11 sharp. Yeah, so let them have a break and then come. We are resuming back at 11 a.m. Thank you so much, Mr. John.
I wanted them to have democracy. If they want to shorten it, I would allow them. If they want to lengthen it, I can consider.
Okay. Or do we come back 11:11?
What do the people say?
Yes, 11:11.
Oh, you see, I told you, Eunice, there's democracy.
No problem.
Okay, Sylvia, thank you very much. Please move away from your machine and come back at 11:10 so that we start at 11:11.
Recording stopped.
You have the